without further ado, I'll move on to our next speaker. Zrcalo, under your new name, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. What I would really like to say is, one of the most important things about Tumblr is, you could create your own blog and have it completely separate from the entire website. It's a very decentralized platform, very similar to GeoCities. It actually faced near about the same sort of fate that GeoCities faced, especially in the realm of child pornography. It's interesting to note that child pornography was not it was the main problem, but it was not the only problem. I don't know how many people know, but I was part of the Kiro investigation, and a lot of that stuff was hosted on Tumblr. There were many, many, many bestiality blogs, sadist blogs, a lot of images that, although in America are considered legal, since there are no laws against it, in many other countries they are considered illegal. It's the biggest problem was the decentralization of Tumblr compared to a lot of other websites like Amino, which has a more centralized platform where they could moderate it a lot easier. It's very, very difficult to create a filter that can recognize not only child pornography, but bestiality, illegal forms of normal pornography, especially in different countries, a lot of sadist type stuff, even if it's not related to pornography. A better route that I would have thought for Tumblr would be to ban photographs. And that leads me to how it affects the furry community at large. The furry community at large is mostly artwork. Now, there are many, many, many different furry websites that allow furry pornography. And that's perfectly fine and perfectly good. The thing is that Tumblr, being a decentralized platform, doesn't allow artists to properly advertise their work unless they combine it with another website, such as social media on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. With the advent of Tumblr getting rid of all pornography, it allows these other sites to welcome more artists, and it creates a better environment for artists to even advertise and talk to other artists in. It also creates it destroys the giant monopoly that Tumblr had upon, especially not safe for work furry artists. I'm sorry, one time. I think it's really interesting to note that when I moved off of For Affinity, which was the biggest platform, there wasn't a lot of activities in these smaller sites. Now that the Tumblr exodus is happening, I'm beginning to notice that these other sites are now becoming a lot more active. The community is better, the activity is better, and the quality of artwork has gone up. And I think that's one of the most important things that I think affects the furry community is, yeah, they got rid of all the porn on the Tumblr. You could still upload your artwork onto there. Tumblr's not completely dead. You could still advertise there and everything. You just can't upload your pornography on there. But you can on Weasel and Ink Bunny and even For Affinity and a bunch of other websites. And I think that taking that weird decentralized platform that Tumblr had that was very, very difficult for artists to create a new following, especially for new people, it allows them to create a whole new community now. And I think that's probably the core of what I'm saying. And along with Tumblr getting rid of the issue that they faced with the real porn. And I think that probably is one of the best things for the furry community right now.
Are there any questions for Zrcalo? Aha, there is one. I thought there'd be some for this. Smibber, whenever you're ready.
Hate you. So it's slightly tangential, but your argument seemed to suggest that you believe decentralization is not good for the furry fandom, or at least the art side of the furry fandom. Do you not feel that the large centralized platforms have too much control over the furry fandom, and that if we're more decentralized, it means that a single large corporation can't affect us as much?
Well, as we have seen with Tumblr, that is owned by a very large corporation. With the issue with the decentralization is that websites like For Affinity, Ink Bunny, there's, oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of them, and I can't even remember most of their names. They are owned by completely different people. I am banned on For Affinity, but I am allowed on Weasel and Ink Bunny, and it's not like where I have all of my eggs in one basket, as if a lot of people on Tumblr do.
Okay, I see. Cool.
Right, thank you. I have a question for you, Zrcalo. Even if the ban on not safe for work content, can be spun in one way or the other to be good because it gets rid of pornography on one side, do you not think that the adult content actually deals with so much more than pornography as a label, and that in removing it we lose so much? So kind of quite expressive art, which might, kind of an old example would be Free the Nipple campaign, or even people who curse a lot, they fall under brand lines of adult content. So do you not think that in Tumblr banning adult content rather than pornography, they have got rid of a lot of the best parts of this fandom here?
When I was looking at the Tumblr terms of service change that affected the ban on pornography, it interestingly enough allowed a lot of the verbal stuff, like RPs and such like that. I don't know if that has changed or what, but they also said that they allowed tasteful nudity, similar to how DeviantArt had it. I understand there was something to do about female presenting nipples, and I think that is typically taking it too far, and I question exactly how that happened and if Apple had any control over that particular thing. But I do believe that's one of the things that's taking it too far. But there is a lot of alternatives out there besides Tumblr for a lot of furry artists and other types of artists.
Right, thank you very much, Zrcalo.